Okay, let's get into this because the streets are on fire. Jay-Z thought he could skate past the whispers, but baby, the rumors are louder than ever, and this time they come with receipts, tears, and hometown confessions. We all remember the long, messy battle with Rymir, right? That young man has been saying for years that Jay-Z is his biological father. Courts, lawyers, motions, it's been a circus. But before we even finish dissecting that old drama, another name jumps into the fire. L.A., a woman from Maryland, who just dropped the kind of confession that makes the internet lose its collective mind. This wasn't no half-baked, clout-chasing Instagram rant. No, LA came in swinging with her entire life story. She wrote like a woman who's been carrying a secret for decades, like a daughter tired of hiding in the shadows. She spilled that growing up. Everybody in her hometown already knew she was Jay-Z's child. Everybody but him, apparently. She spoke about her mother's struggles, raising 4 kids while battling multiple sclerosis, working 2 tough jobs at a prison and a hospital, never letting the world see her break. The way LA painted it, her mom was a warrior, but behind her strength was the heartbreak of being ignored, dismissed, and silenced. And then LA drops the bomb. She took an ancestry test, and guess who popped up as a 99% match? None other than Sean Carter himself. This wasn't just LA talking. People from her community jumped online, basically saying, yeah, we've been new. One person even wrote, if you're not from the shore, you don't get it. But everyone here always knew she was Jay-Z's daughter. That's not gossip anymore. That's an open hometown secret finally being shouted out to the world. Then, get this, another woman steps up and says she personally introduced Jay-Z to LA's mother. She remembers the exact apartment, the parties, the drinks, the vibes. She even swore that she and LA's mom once called Rockefeller back in the day to tell them about the child. And what did the person on the phone say? You know how many women say Jay-Z is their baby daddy? Cold. Heartless. And honestly, sounds like something a trained gatekeeper would say to shut down a scandal before it explodes. But here we are, decades later, and the truth is clawing its way to the surface. Now you know it wouldn't be Jay-Z if there wasn't some shady side twist. Word on the street is that he allegedly bought LA a $1.7 million mansion and had her sign an NDA. Let that sink in. A mansion plus silence papers. If that's true, then this wasn't just whispers behind closed doors. This was hush money at billionaire level. And here's where Beyoncé comes into the picture. Because baby, 1 secret child is messy enough. 2, that's marriage shattering. Rumors say Queen Bey has been fed up for a while. First, the world watched Jay's drama with Rymir crawl back into headlines. And now, with LA speaking up, this is giving final straw vibes. Beyoncé's patience hanging by a thread. Let's rewind to rymir satterthwaite because his story is just as stormy. For over 15 years, this man has been fighting to get Jay-Z to take a paternity test. Judges have ordered it, courts reopened the case, and every single time, delay, delay, delay. Jay-Z's legal team plays the same old game. They argue the lawsuit wasn't properly served or that Jay didn't even know about it until later. Every trick in the book to buy time. But here's the thing, if it's all baseless, why do judges keep reopening the case? Why do lawyers keep circling back? Why do people from Rymir's own hometown keep saying it's always been an open secret? Rymir's not chasing money, he's not asking for fame. He said in interviews, I don't want anything except for him to take the test and admit what really happened. This battle even spilled into music. Remember Jay-Z's line in Heard About Us? Billie Jean in his prime, the kid ain't mine? That was a direct slap at Rymir. And did he stay quiet? Oh no. Rymir clapped back in the booth with a diss track of his own, basically daring Jay to stop hiding and face him like a man. This isn't just messy, it's generational. It's the kind of scandal that makes fans rethink everything they ever believed about a legend. So now, with LA and Rymir both demanding answers, the Carter Empire is looking shakier than ever. Because baby, this isn't just family business anymore. This is public court drama, hometown secrets, and billion-dollar brand destruction all colliding at once. Enter Dr. Lily. She's been Rymir's guardian and biggest defender since the beginning, and she is not holding back. She claims Jay-Z's and Beyoncé's legal teams have been playing dirty for years, burying paperwork, intimidating witnesses, and even colluding with Rymir's original lawyers to sabotage the case from the inside. That's not just shady, that's power at work. If true, it paints Jay-Z not as a man protecting his family, but as a billionaire pulling every string possible to keep his past buried. And here's the part that really made jaws drop, the timeline. According to Rymir, his mother Wanda was just 16 years old when she met Jay-Z. He was already in his 20s. Even if she lied about her age, it raises disturbing questions about how much Jay really knew and what choices were made back then. Wanda, Rymir's mother, allegedly tried to reach Jay multiple times later in life. She hit wall after wall. At one point, lawyers told her they'd handle it privately. They even dangled the promise of signing Rymir to a record label. But like smoke in the wind, that deal vanished. No answers, no recognition, just silence. And here we are, decades later. Still no DNA test, still no acknowledgement. Just a man who raps about accountability, empowerment, and fatherhood, but refuses to prove the truth with a simple swab of his cheek. The internet has become the courtroom Jay can't escape. Every time he posts on Instagram, every time he shows up at a public event, people flood the comments. Take the test. Some fans defend him, saying this all reeks of opportunism. Others call him a hypocrite for dodging the truth while building an empire off the image of being a powerful, responsible black father. And let's keep it real. If Jay-Z was just some regular man without money and influence, the court would have forced that DNA test years ago. The only reason this case is still hanging in limbo, his power, his wealth, his reach. Now let's talk Beyoncé, because everyone's eyes are on her. For years, she stood by Jay's side through cheating scandals, infidelity rumors, even that elevator incident with Solange that nearly broke the internet. But this is different. Being tied into paternity scandals with grown adults, that's humiliation at a whole new level. Sources whisper that Beyoncé is beyond embarrassed, that she's distancing herself, not showing her wedding ring, and pouring all her energy into solo projects and new business ventures, without Jay's involvement. Behind closed doors, insiders claim she's laid down the law. Handle this, or watch it destroy everything we build. And honestly, who could blame her? Beyoncé's brand is flawless, polished, empowering. She built an empire on strength and control. And now, every time Jay trends, it's not about music. It's about alleged kids, DNA tests, and NDAs. Back to LA for a second, because this mansion situation is wild. Friends of hers say Jay-Z allegedly offered her a nearly $2 million home in exchange for silence. And apparently, she took it. Now let's pause there. If LA really believed Jay-Z wasn't her father, why would she agree to such a deal? And if Jay-Z truly thought he wasn't the father, why spend millions to make her stay quiet? The optics are awful. Either it looks like hush money or it looks like a guilty conscience. And no matter which side you believe, the whispers won't stop. But unlike LA, Rymir isn't backing down. He's not signing NDAs, not cashing hush checks, not hiding. He's going full throttle, doing interviews, dropping music, filing legal motions. His fight is relentless. And that's what scares Jay-Z's camp the most. They can silence one, maybe even two people with money. But a young man who refuses to shut up? That's dangerous. And now the legal tables might finally be turning. Judges want answers, courts are circling back, and the question looming over everything is simple. Will Jay-Z finally be forced to take the DNA test? Because this isn't just about two alleged kids anymore. It's about legacy. It's about reputation. Jay-Z is a billionaire, yes, but his image, the idea of him as a mogul, a father, a cultural leader, that's what's really on the line. Fans are asking, is Jay-Z about to lose everything? Not his money, but his marriage, his credibility, his empire. The cracks are showing and the pressure is building. And Beyoncé, the whispers are getting louder that she's preparing a quiet exit. She's been spotted without her ring. She's moving differently. Sources say she's not interested in playing stepmom to kids that were hidden for decades. For years, she and Jay-Z were the power couple, the dynasty, the Carters. But now, that dynasty looks like it's teetering. And the saddest part in all of this? Two adults, LA and Rymir, aren't asking for money. They're not demanding fame. They just want the truth. A DNA test. The simplest answer to the biggest scandal of Jay-Z's career. But instead of truth, we've got NDAs, mansions, diss tracks, legal games, and a marriage dangling by a thread. And until Jay-Z takes that test, this story isn't going anywhere. The streets will keep talking, the blogs will keep buzzing, and every move Beyoncé makes will be watched under a microscope. Because when the Carter empire cracks, it doesn't just fall, it crumbles in front of the entire world. So here we are. Two alleged children, one furious wife, a billionaire dodging DNA tests like it's a sport, and a legacy hanging in the balance. Jay-Z once rapped, "You can't knock the hustle," but in this case, the hustle might just knock him down.